Star Wars Destiny is a card and dice game that I reviewed a couple of months ago based on the starter sets, the Rey and Kylo Ren starter sets. If you haven't watched my video or you don't remember the conclusions, my point was that I liked the game, I liked it very much. I wasn't particularly sold on the distribution model because it is one of those games that requires you to buy a lot of blind boosters, which is okay if you have a lot of friends that do the same and you are in high school, I guess, so you have time to do trading and to put together your collection. At my age, I prefer just to buy a game which is the set, it gives me the set, and then I can do my customization if I have to, but I don't want to have to go through all the trouble of, again, putting together a collection. Then, last week, Fantasy Flight sent me this booster pack, or this booster box with, what was it, 25? Yes, well, I think 25 booster packs of Star Wars Destiny in the Spirit of Rebellion line. And, well, when this shows up on my doorstep, I'm not gonna pass up the opportunity to play the game the way that I believe it was supposed to, which is with a lot of booster packs and with the opportunity for you to customize things. I want to show you what's in the box, or better, I opened the booster packs and I organized them. By the way, now I also have a box for Star Wars Destiny in general, because I also placed here the materials that was in the two starter packs, which I didn't find all that convenient to carry around. Now I have a box with the starter sets and with a lot of these booster packs. My conclusions haven't changed. My conclusion is still that this is a fine game. And yes, it requires customization. It requires more cards than you will use in any single game for the game to really shine, to be fun, which means you're going to spend a lot of money or you're going to spend a lot of time trading. And that's, here we are. This is my conclusions are still the same, but if you keep watching, you will see some of the new materials, some of the new cards. I organized the dice by color, and some of the new dice. For example, here we have Luminara, you can see her right there. And here we have the guy from Rogue, Mon Mothma. Lots of interesting new characters, and don't worry if you, we have Maz. Don't worry if you don't get a good sense from just this quick look. Of course, I also mix them up with the starter sets. Don't worry if you're not getting that much of a good look here. Well, you can pause and see more details, but then we'll look at the cards. So actually, that will give you more information about what the new things are. Actually, here we have, what I keep in this bag is the cards, or at least some/many of the cards that come with dice. That's just the way that I do, so it's easier. I make my own decks with the standard cards, then I add some cards with dice. And so let's see what we find in this set here, and this is the symbol of the Spirit of Rebellion. We find the Royal Guard, very important figure, as you can see, nasty melee fighter with some defense abilities. The Delta Interceptor, a lot of range attacks. The ability to reroll dice, super important. An upgrade, the Lightsaber Pike. The Command Shuttle, neat stuff. Hunkar Plot, the junk dealer, so annoying, such an annoying character in episode 7, but we need those two, otherwise the movie is too too idyllic. We need the bad stuff. I like this guy, the Outrim Smuggler, not particularly expensive, just, you throw it in as an extra card, there's a little bit of a support that also gives you some resources, and sometimes this can be really key. Personal Shield, nice upgrade. Hired Gun, as you can see, also I keep them separate by color. The Hired Gun, you need to pay him, that's why he's hired. But he also makes some resources. Sometimes he wants money, sometimes he gives you money. How peculiar. But he can be pretty powerful. Maz, a supporting character with not particularly powerful attack, a simple mini attack, but other ways of supporting you and helping you. The Bowcaster, everybody's favorite weapon, and you can see there is a reason for that. First Order Stormtrooper, but this one, oh, this is from the basic set. Mon Mothma, the politician, Dawnbringer in a fight, but can do a lot of things to manipulate resources. This guy from the base set. Rebel Commando, simple but effective guy, good line fighter. C-3PO, support droid, these are the symbols, and remove this dice to resolve one of your dice as if it were showing a different symbol, which can be very powerful. Jeter Krennic. Am I the only one who thinks this is one of the most boring villains in Star Wars, like, ever? That's the impression I got from Rogue One. So you can see this set has a lot of characters and elements from Rogue One and from Episode 7. It's pretty much, the theme is the new movies, that's it. Although the new movies don't really have that much of a, connection chronologically, 7 and Rogue One. Buying one card you get Krennic, and maybe the other card you get, again, somebody from Episode 7. You do get engineers also. So this is him. Is not a bad character in the game. It's much more interesting than in the movie. The TIE Fighter pilot, the Death Trooper, which has a synergy with Krennic. Again, I'm not gonna read every card because it will take us forever. Just feel free to pause and so you get a better sense. Blaster pistol, etc, etc, etc. And these are not all of the cards. Some of the cards that have dice associated with them are then in these big decks here. And I'm gonna go through them and show you some of the significant cards, some of the cards that I like. And again, some require dice and some not. Pretty much these are semi-formed decks that they put together, and then, I add one, I change one, but I like to start from a skeleton as opposed to just have random cards all along. This guy we have from the basic set, you remember him, but not this character here. That's just a nice sniper. Then some new cards and new ability. I have several of this card here. The ambush ability, always enjoyable. Allows you to move shields around. This is from the basic set. Basic evade. Again, I got a bunch of these ones. Basic, but not unwelcome. Not unwelcome at all. Basic set, basic set, basic. Oh, this deck here is a lot of cards on the basic set. I guess it's sort of like a modified version of the starter set. Oh, here we have the decisive blow. Resolves one of your dice showing melee damage. Then remove all character and upgrade dice of the character you just dealt damage to. Timed well, this can be pretty powerful. Relentless Pursuit, neat to give to Jungle Fett. If nothing else, for thematic reasons, if not necessarily because the effect is exclusive of that guy. Momentum Shift, you move shields around again. Let me go to another, oh, the interrogation droid. This is scary as well as interesting. Now, let me go to another deck. This also is from the new line of expansion. I want to get another deck, if nothing else. Oh, nothing else, I want to show you the deck that has Luminara. Oh, here we go. This is another from the Spirit of Rebellion. Darth Vader. Shouldn't he be Anakin, Mad Anakin, Darth Anakin? I don't know, I'm being a little pedantic here. This is not Darth Vader just yet, I think. That's what he does, and he gets a little out of control. Yes, he can be a little impulsive. He does a lot of damage to the opponent, and he doesn't care if he gets hurt a little bit in the process. Vibron Knucklers, pew, 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 from this new expansion. Nice melee weapon that also allows you to increase the damage by spending resources. The Con Artist, another character that produces resources and effects for you. Jetpack, no, that was from the basic thing. Command Shuttle, I think I showed you the card or the dice before. Supply Line from Spirit of Rebellion, always good to have some extra supplies and a little bit of a rerolling ability. Oh, scary one. After one of your dice rolls a discard, you may exhaust this support to force an opponent to choose and remove one of the dice. It's a support, so it stays there. Oh, this is nice. But you do need to control the battlefield and you need to be a villain, but then you can turn up to 4 of your dice to sides showing damage. This is nasty. This is a nasty card. So if you are playing the good guys and you're playing the Spirit of Rebellion, be careful. You wanna have the battlefield. Slave 1, the iconic ship. 4 speeds. No, I am the master. You have to say this one. After attached characters, card or upgrade dice deal damage, you may exhaust this upgrade to turn a dice to a side showing a blank. So, oopsie, they you have good stuff and they don't have it anymore. This is another one that I like very much. Also on top of being one of the few moments of the prequel trilogy of Star Wars to be worth anything. That's a nice scene in the movie, and this is a nice effect. But you do need to control the battlefield. I like that they make controlling the battlefield meaningful. Remove an opponent's die showing damage. Then, if it was a Carter die, you deal a damage to that Carter. It captures really well the essence of that iconic moment. I wanted to go to the next deck to show you some other effects. Actually, again, feel free to just pause to get a sense of what these cards do. But I want to show you Luminar if I can find her. Nothing else. Because I'm a big fan of Luminara. She's one of my favorite characters of the Star Wars universe. There, I said it. And if you don't agree, that's fine. You're just wrong, and I'm right, and that's how it is. No, I'm just kidding, sort of. The best character is Ahsoka, not Luminara. Luminara Unduli. Here she is. And again, I look at her, it's like, it's a good character. It's just really that I like her from the TV show that I'm so happy that I found her. You get to resolve one of your character's dice, increasing its value by 2 or by 3 instead if it's a non-unique character die with that special ability. She hits fairly hard. Base Malthus from Rogue One, again from Spirit of Rebellion. What do you expect? Somebody with a massive firepower, and there are also upgrades that make that firepower even more significant. I don't know that I need to go through like every card. The art is glorious. Oh, this is the one that I at least wanted to show you. Comes with the dice, and an upgrade is really good with this guy. Then it really produces a wall of fire, which is rather remarkable. I don't want to go through every card. I think you get a sense of the flavor. And when I review expansions of this type, which is almost like a line of expansions, very often, yes, I like to talk about the flavor, the family resemblance that connects the cards or the miniatures of the expansion together. Maybe it's an expansion that encourages sneaking, one that is just about frontal attacks. This expansion I'm having a hard time, or line of expansion, I'm having a hard time kind of like labeling one way or the other. And it may be that since I had quite a bunch of boosters that I added to my collection, but I haven't seen the whole line, and I'm not likely to ever see it, so I cannot judge it entirely. I cannot judge it by seeing the whole thing. From what I saw, Variety, I would say it doesn't have to me a distinct personality, like, oh, this is the one about the rogues, or this is the one about this or that. It's the one with a lot of characters and elements from Rogue One, from Episode 7, and from a lot of other things. So thematically, I think thematically is where I see the biggest red thread here. Those two movies seem to be major sources. Other than that, I would say functionally, game-wise, ludically, I don't see a dominant trait. I see variety, which is not a bad thing. I see, well, sneaky things, attack, defenses, lots of different characters, different synergies. So it's not an expansion that, again, has a distinct flavor, but has given me a lot of interesting extra options. I have fun customizing, I have had fun tweaking the decks, tweaking the dice pools, and of course playing the game. The game is still fun, the game is still great. Too bad that it does require a little bit of an investment to put together a good collection. Like right now, I'm comfortable. I may then go out and purchase a couple of more boosters, but right now I feel that, well, if you buy one of these boxes and you have the starter sets, then you may have enough to play for a while. Especially, like I like to do, with these games where you build the decks and all that, I always have fear that the meta game will prevail over the game. So what I like to do, rather than, I make my deck and you make your deck, and then your deck is more powerful, so we just compare the list of cards in the deck and we can determine the winner before we play. So what's the point of play? The way I like to do it is I prepare 2 decks by myself. 2 decks with cards and dice, making them as even as possible, and then principle of one kid cuts the cake and the other kid chooses. I prepare 2 decks as balanced as possible, and the opponent chooses which one to play. That's the way I like to play it. I take out the meta by making sure that the experience is as balanced as possible, so it really becomes about handling cards and dice rather than, well, winning the game before the game starts. It's my way to play this kind of highly customizable games, and you don't have to play that way, but if you play with me, chances are that will be the case. Or if you come with a super strong deck, let me look at it, then I'll just concede before we start, and that's how we can be happy. So I'm happy that I have a good collection now, because I can do precisely so. Not only can I make my own deck, but I can make at least 2 decks. Actually, I can make several pairs. So I have a lot of variety, a lot of gameplay options. If a friend tells me I want to play this or that kind of card, then I can make the decks in advance. And yes, I think that my prophecy was correct. You do need to spend quite a little money. I was lucky to get this review copy, so I didn't have to invest that money. I have no idea how much it would cost me to buy the whole box, but it seems to me this is a good amount of material. What you find in the starter sets plus a whole box such as this one is good. And again, that's just because I like to have enough cards again to be able to prepare several decks, so the opponent doesn't have to prepare them. Again, since I'm not in high school, I do not have many friends that have their own collection of this. If you just buy cards and dice for your own deck, you optimize your one deck and trade things, then you probably don't need to buy these many, but these many boosters is what you need probably to have what I would call a self-sufficient, a self-contained collection that can be played as a set without any need for anything else. Overall, again, Star Wars Destiny is a good game. The cards that I found in this set and the dice that I found in this set were really fun to play and to mix and match. Overall, great, still great impression. My positive impression of the base game is confirmed. My skepticism about the fact that the distribution model behind the game may not be for everybody is confirmed too, but it is what it is. You know what you're getting into with Star Wars Destiny. Good game with the caveats that I've been talking about since my previous review and that they have reiterated this time.